It's on.
Oh, it's on.
It is so on.
Pull up a chair, grab a cold one, smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's time for the Fan Happy Hour.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080. The Fan.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey! Happy Monday, all you beautiful radio listeners. I hope you are having a wonderful start to your week. But let's check in with the most important man, Jordan Schultz. What's going on?
You're looking rather beautiful today, man.
Oh, you?
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
Thanks,
Happy to
sir.
have you jumping in. Rust didn't make it in today. We may have clues as to why later in the show.
I threw my Mariners gear on and came right in, sir.
Oh, man, I love it. This is a big week. Not one, two 6-inning Mariners scrimmages later this week. Let's go! Who's excited? They
I
are
won't be
literally
there, but
playing.
yeah.
They are literally playing games against themselves. If you happen to be in the Seattle area, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yes, $10 entry.
$10,
And
Go-
it benefits local charities, I think.
Well, here's the thing: for a guy like you,
Yeah.
that loves the Mariners, this is a
Yeah.
perfect thing. It's a baseball game where it's just Mariners.
Yeah, if I were willing to, pay for a hotel room for 3 nights up there, I think I'd just stay Thursday through Saturday. But no, my wife and I luckily were able to score tickets for game 1 of the ALDS at face
Yeah.
value, and we used points to book a hotel Saturday night. So I think any other funds that we have are going to be reserved for the $20 food items at T-Mobile Park. So
Well, here's what you do.
go to the value.
Well, eat before, eat after.
Yeah.
We did something that we hadn't thought of yesterday, which is you've had Moto Pizza, I assume.
Oh, actually, yes. The first time I did was the playoff clinching game I went to with my dad about a week and a half ago, and I waited in line for about 15 minutes for Moto Pizza. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it was worth it.
No, it wasn't.
You
No,
say no.
No, absolutely not.
I thought it was the best pizza I'd had in months.
What,
Sir.
I won't disagree with that.
Okay.
First time I had Moto Pizza, they actually put it on half price in the 9th inning or right after the game was over, whatever.
Did
So we
they
got it.
really?
Yeah. Checked back 3 times. It doesn't work anymore. So what we did was we left T-Mobile, drove over to West Seattle, 10 minutes. We got out. We skipped some of the traffic. We got off. We went over to West Seattle. There's one right there.
Oh, to the actual Moto Pizza restaurant.
And then we didn't pay the T-Mobile markup. So we ate before the game. And then we hung out and we drank beers during the game.
Good.
And then after, we just went over to Moto Pizza. So
And if you're living
we're
under
just-
a rock, Moto Pizza is the new hot food item at T-Mobile Park this year. It's like food this year at T-Mobile as were crickets 7 or 8 years ago.
It
It's
was
the
there last year
craze.
because we had it first time last year. But it is a Detroit style pizza. It's awesome. It's very very good.
yummy.
It's delicious. But we did that yesterday. Before we get into this, because you and I can talk Mariners all day. I'm not worried about that. There was a lot of football. There was a lot of things going on. One of the things that we do on this show is we, of course, are keeping track of our pick'em. And I'm looking on here, Mr. Schultz, and I don't see your name on it.
I apologize. I was
You
very busy last
should.
week.
No. I don't want excuses.
No
You-
excuses?
You can apologize, but I do not want to hear excuses. I know that you went to the one game that the Mariners didn't absolutely trounce the Rockies, so you didn't cheer really well at that one. The one where I'm actually going, are they not going to win every single game against the Rockies? I know you attended that one. I know you had some
yes.
other things going on, but if you're trying to make excuses, shut up. If you'd like to apologize, I will let you apologize without any caveats. Go ahead.
I apologize, and I promise I will fill it out.
I appreciate that.
Because guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be watching the Mariners scrimmage from my couch.
There you are.
Hey, it'll be Thursday night football in one corner, and if they are televising it at all, I'll have it on.
All right. There are 3 people right now that are tied at 10 wins. We have Tim Earl, Rob Woodward, and Greg A. All filled it out. They have all picked the Broncos. So is anybody that is one game behind them. Greg has the Miami Dolphins. The other 2 both have the New York Jets. So it will be decided one way or another if the 2 guys with the Jets, Tim and Rob, are to tie. It will go to points, but we will have a settled take your pick at the end of this show. And of course, the prize is you get to be on this show with me. So you don't even fill it out and you get to be here, Jordan. Unbelievable.
I have other responsibilities.
Oh, you know what? More if it's more excuses, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Have the guy that comes in and cut the podcast. How about that? Have them do all the ancillary work along with
it's not
it.
ancillary.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be fun.
I'm not saying it's not.
Oh, lot going on where it sounds like you're saying it's not fun. So let me just tell you real quickly about my weekend.
Lay it on me.
One of the better sports weekends, especially for Northwest fans, for baseball fans. Football's getting more. It's no longer the quarter mark of the NFL season because of the 17th game, but you're right at that point where you're starting to figure out who's good, who's bad. College football is really getting interesting.
Yeah.
You're getting big matchups between all of that. So I said, hey, you know what? Let's make this a big live sports weekend. I already had tickets for the final Mariners game, ended up being fairly inconsequential, but hey, if I'm already going to Seattle, Ohio State's in town. Maybe we'll try to sneak into a second Mariners game, whatever it is. So we decided our itinerary ended up being Ohio State at Washington, followed by Mariners Dodgers for Clayton Kershaw's final regular season start and probably final start as a major league pitcher because he's
What a
most
weekend.
likely going to be in the bullpen.
Yeah.
I may have picked the two dullest sporting events that happened all weekend.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a deflating balloon from either game, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, we're not UW fans. I just want to have that. I'm in Seattle.
It's a
Ohio State's
sporting
coming
event.
to town. It's a sporting event. And
marquee.
if you can get the number one team in the country go and they just trounce the home team, at least you're seeing fireworks. At least you're seeing, man, these guys really are legit. 24-6.
I would say
14 points in the fourth quarter.
the most exciting
No
part of that
points in the
game-
third quarter. Washington scores first.
Most exciting part of that game, the Mariners showing up to do the pregame. That was it.
Yeah, well, we had Ohio State guys showing up to do the first pitch for the Mariners game on Sunday, too.
I heard about that.
Well, no, Jason, it was actually great. It's decent. It's an okay pitch. Like, he got it
I don't
there.
care about the pitch.
I know
honest-
you don't.
Yeah. Well, I
Hey,
digress.
listen,
on
he's
that
a
stuff.
Seahawk. No, you're fine. But the whole thing, the environment was kind of wild. I had never sailgated before, so we walked down this beautiful Chris Craft boat sitting right there, and I were talking with the owner. Couldn't have been a nicer guy. I was like, "Hey, my uncle was talking about coming to this game. He is a huge UW fan.
Yeah.
We're with my dad. We're like, would you mind if my old man just goes up there and takes a quick picture just so we can rub it in?" And so we did that. We were just kind of BSing with some of the guys down there. We
Drinking
had
with
our-
your pinkies out and all the nice
we did.
boats.
We did. Hey, listen, beautiful setting, absolute blast. Ton of Ohio State fans. Turns out they travel well. UW, I mean, listen, they've got some dudes, but they're a year or two away from getting an offensive and defensive line that can compete with Ohio State. I think that was the preview. That's kind of what you got. The defense for Ohio State, dominant. The offense, there's some guys on UW, but if your line can't protect and the defensive line is just doing whatever they want for Ohio State, fine.
Figured more points would come from Ohio State, though.
Right? The defense played pretty well for you. It's kind of a boring game. It was what it was. We got what we expected. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. So then Sunday was very weird. Have you been in T-Mobile when every single seat is sold?
Yes.
Electric, right?
It's a huge opening day this year when we clinched the
Electric.
playoffs. On a Tuesday, it was a 43,000 seat sellout.
Electric,
Yeah,
right?
huge.
Except
Huge
when
vibe.
literally nothing matters. there was no so we're there on Sunday.
Yeah.
There's no consequence to the
Was
game.
it like an outdoor beer garden? Is that what it was?
Kind of was. Okay, so the PA broadcaster comes on, and it is like, let's make some noise!
Is that, the deep voice guy, Tom Hutler? Yeah.
And everybody there just goes, nah,
We're fine.
we're good. We've got beers. We have a good time. We're having conversations with the Mariners fans and what the season's been like, how excited they are for the playoffs. Everybody's talking playoff tickets. Bunch of Dodgers fans there just want to get a glimpse of Clayton Kershaw one more time.
Yeah.
They're all excited, but listen, they don't care if he wins or loses. He gets his roses. He gets his whole thing. It was a truly unique experience where it's completely sold out. And tell me if this has ever happened to you.
Mhm.
The Mariners were already locked into a bye in the playoffs, and they didn't care.
No.
They didn't not care. There was no urgency from the fans whatsoever. Wasn't a bad experience. It was just bizarre. And the game,
I've never seen that.
pretty boring.
I've never.
2001, it had to have happened, but they were going for the record. So even
Well, I was
then,
12.
there was either way. But what I'm saying, though, is I'm trying to think if this has ever happened, and I don't think it has. So there they are, just sitting. They've got it locked up. They've got the bye. They can't catch a Blue Jay. Everybody just there had a good time. It was a beautiful day.
Oh yeah, no, it's like it became like what the Rockies are in Denver. It's an outdoor beer garden. And
Yes, but I've been to those games, and
Yeah.
it's like 1,500 people, and you're 17 games out of the lead,
Yeah.
and you just said, hey, it's $2 to get into Safeco Field, because when it was Safeco Field, there was plenty of those games, and you're like, I think Felix is pitching today, and they're like, oh, cool, can he get his 9th win? So this was very
Hey, he
different
won the
than
Cy
that.
Young that year. No, you're
He
right.
had 13.
You're right, but I guess that game is a representation of sports, and especially baseball. I feel like above basketball and football, there's so many other things to watch the game for than just a win or a loss. And you just named like 4 different storylines. And Mariners fans, as you said, when's the last time this happened? Sitting on their high horse, pretty like as you said, the 0-1 run was still important in September. I don't think Mariners fans have ever been able to just sit back and chill, ever.
Sitting at a Mariners game and Shohei Ohtani is at bat, and you have Cal Raleigh going for 60, and he's DHing, and you're looking at like all of the young guys out there on the field, and you just go, man, what a beautiful day, what a beautiful experience. And then the murmur from the crowd is because they just flipped the scoreboard from other Major League Baseball scores to NFL scores. And everybody's going, oh, can you believe that? That's going on. Oh, the Chargers are going to win this. Like, that was the whole game. It was the weirdest game. It wasn't bad. Completely unique. And you know what? If every year I go to the final game of the year and the Mariners are just sitting there locked into a divisional round bye or a wild card bye and just waiting for the divisional round, I will do it every year. But it was unique.
Luke,
I will say that.
We'll just wait until sports books arrive at team stadiums. Then every game will be like the one you experienced.
I don't think you're wrong. Let's do some in case you missed it. All right, in case you missed it, Latin superstar Bad Bunny was officially announced as the headliner for the 2026 Super Bowl 60 halftime show in Santa Clara, California. Cue the guys that never watch a halftime show to start bitching about the halftime show. Go, boys. Do it.
Actually, I was not really happy when I saw that choice. I'm like, Bad Bunny?
Yeah,
really?
I know. But you know what? The people that are like disappointed about, they don't care about the halftime show. People that like the football game, don't care about the commercials, tend not to care about the halftime show. That's when you get a break, man. You're both?
I'm both. I'm a weird. See, I'm not a
you're
sports
weird.
fan.
Yeah.
But hey, any chance to like see Beyonce in half dress? Like,
There you
yeah, we'll take that. Why couldn't we do something like that again?
Yeah, all right. In case you missed it, the Cincinnati Reds clinched the final NL playoff spot after the New York Mets were eliminated, following a 4-0 loss to the Miami Marlins. I was going to make a joke about how much more the Mets get paid by the Marlins, but I feel like I wouldn't be giving you my best effort if I did that. Kind of like Juan Soto didn't give his best effort, considering he makes $46 million, against the Marlins, whose entire 26-man roster makes $34 million.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, come on. You stepped on my... He gets paid more than the entire active 26-man roster.
Yeah, and that I don't.
By $12 million.
And the Marlins still almost made the playoffs too. Maybe the Mets should take a freaking page out of that book. Analytics, anybody?
Can I tell you, though, if the Marlins would have made the playoffs, they would have won the World Series, too, because that is what they do.
Could you imagine the best year in the Mariners' history? They're on a run, and all of a sudden, it's the Marlins that knocked them off.
Dude,
I might walk off the top of the building.
I will say this because I've said it before, and I don't believe in jinxes, but who had the record for the biggest comeback in Major League Baseball history for a division title? Guardians.
Yeah.
Who's on your side of the bracket?
Shut up.
You shut up.
You're right. And
shut up.
I actually told one Patrick Harris of the firm before the show started that, yeah, the Guardians scared me more than the Tigers.
Yeah, well, they have 9 lefties, and you've got all right-handed pitching. So, in case you missed it, Vanderbilt football is experiencing a cultural change and revival under Coach Clark Lee and confident QB Diego Pavia, leading the Commodores to their best 5-0 start since 2008. Coincidentally, 2008, also the year Diego Pavia graduated from high school. So,
How old is he?
Actually, the question is, how old is he? How many? This is year 7 of college football that he's played. So.
He's just slightly younger than Cam McCormick for the Miami Hurricanes. No.
Actually, he is the same age as Aaron Rodgers, which is ironic. I don't know how that works. In case you missed it,
Just sounded like a dad joke. That's why I groaned. I'm
well,
sorry.
That's fine.
It
That's
was
fine. That's why you
funny.
put it in the middle. I've got some that are meaner or better or worse. I don't know. Who knows? In case you missed it, Jaguars coach Liam Cohen and 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh had to be separated after a heated post-game argument sparked by Saleh's prior comments about Jacksonville's legally stealing signals. I love that these guys were about to fight after the game, but is there anything dumber to say in an argument than keep my name out your mouth? Guys, can you please just use F-bombs like adults? Can we just do that? Is that one you?
No, I think the Will Smith train has started the keep my name out of your MF and mouth. We'll hear that one on social media for 200 more years.
But
brother.
you're adult people that coach men. You can't be better. Just
These guys have not heard the word no
but
so long.
again, just use profanity.
You're right.
Okay.
I love the profanity. In fact, tell me when the coaches and players are using it. Let's put those clips out on social media.
There.
We'd all watch them.
Now we're talking. Finally, in case you missed it, fans are accusing Lamar Jackson of quitting on the Ravens after he left with a hamstring injury against the blowout loss to the Chiefs. Come on, guys. You can say whatever you want about Lamar Jackson, but he's not a quitter until the playoffs. Okay, so with that, no?
Yeah,
No?
that was pretty good.
No? Okay. All right. With that, we move on to the
That was just a soft chuckle. Like, yep. Damn right.
we move on to the Daily Buzz. We do it next. Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Headlines, trending topics, and trivial matters that got our attention. It's the Daily Buzz on the Fan Happy Hour.
The Buzz.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, the Seattle Mariners will begin their quest to
Might as well go win the whole thing.
on Saturday, but a few things to be settled before then. So in the bracket, the Mariners await the winner of the Tigers and Guardians. That is set to begin tomorrow. Tomorrow you've got a big pile of games. You've got the Tigers, Guardians at 10 a.m. You've got the Padres at Cubs at 12 p.m. 3 o'clock is Red Sox, Yankees, and not the Mets, but the Reds at the Dodgers at 6 p.m. So tomorrow the wild card rounds begins. That was a pretty good exhale there, Mr. Schultz.
Do we remember a year in the last decade where the first round or the wild card matchup, I guess you should technically call them, were this good? I mean, maybe I'm biased because my Mariners are in it, but like I am just so excited going into these playoffs, not just to see my M's, but this week, that's appointment viewing for me. Like, I'm going to plant myself up in front of a TV with a Bloody Mary at 10 tomorrow and just go.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So you've got two divisional matchups in the American League. Yeah. The winner of the Central matchup. So I'd have to check the exact number of days, but the Tigers and Guardians finished with a series in Detroit. Then they both went their separate ways for 3 games. Then they played again in Cleveland, went their separate days for 3 games. And now they're playing again. So in their last 15 games, in their last 12 games, they played 6 times, and now the next potentially 3 games will be against each other. So they not only are they familiar with each other as division opponents, I don't think anybody played each other as much in the last week and a half, 2 weeks of the season as these two teams. So now you've got very, very familiar teams, and one of the better grudge matches in Detroit falling apart at the end, allowing Cleveland to be the biggest comeback in a division race in Major League history. So that one, nice and juicy. Not to be outdone, the National League almost had a similar scenario, but they end up getting 2 Central teams playing against 2 West teams. So you've got the Phillies sitting there waiting for the winner of the Reds and Dodgers. Okay, Dodgers playing in the first round, defending World Series champions. I like that. The Reds just snuck in, so hot. Let's see what they can do. And then the Padres, who were fighting for the division until recently, and the Cubs, who just got done fighting with the Brewers for the division, are now waiting to play against the Brewers. And none of those are as good as Red Sox-Yankees, which is one of the best rivalries that you have, I think, in sports. The winner of that gets to go on and play the team that won their division.
Do you see that Yankees brass are limiting the ticket sales to the surrounding states, not including Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, and maybe New Jersey? If you live in those states, you can buy Yankees tickets. If not, middle finger.
Are you surprised by that?
Man, I love the pettiness, but I also didn't know that was legal either.
Wow, you could limit the tickets, I'm probably sure, just to the Bronx and sell it out. So yeah, no,
Probably.
It's a fantastic start to the playoffs, and knowing that your
round.
team is sitting there waiting for the winner of anybody is great. But really, I mean, it feels like the way the Guardians played all year, you feel like they're gettable. The way the Tigers have played as of late, I mean, at one point they had the best record in all of baseball, but not lately. So it feels like whoever comes to Seattle on Saturday, these are games you can win. And you'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Baseball brings no guarantees. But it feels like you're in as good a position you could possibly be in. If for some reason Yankees or Red Sox winner beats the Blue Jays, you are now holding home field advantage through the American League playoffs. It's all very exciting. But you're right. Great matchups with or without the Mariners in it. But yeah, I could not be more excited for this thing to get started.
Yes, please. Dodgers, when they got knocked out in the wild card round a couple of years ago, all the fans bitching about like, oh, the best teams should be getting the best seeds. Like, I'm kind of praying for that again. I just get the Dodgers just knocked out immediately. Yes, please.
Well, I don't think I'd be terribly upset by that, but man, the NL, whoever represents, I don't know that you would want to pick any of a whole slew of those teams, but hopefully all those series go long. And if you were to make it, then hopefully you're a little bit more rested. But who knows? Anything can happen.
Yep.
Again, it's baseball.
The Buzz.
Speaking of baseball, it meets football potentially. So if you're paying attention to the Seahawks game or planning to travel up on Sunday to catch them against Tampa Bay, there will be a home playoff game for the Mariners that day.
Yes.
Times are all TBD, but the NFL has said they are willing to move the Seahawks game as far forward as 90 minutes, depending on the starting slot for Game 2 of Mariners versus whomever.
Lodging's going to be nuts because the Sounders actually also play a game on the Saturday that the Mariners start the ALDS the day before. So that entire area, Soto District, it's going to be crazy.
So can you, if you have tickets to both Mariners games or the Sounders and the Seahawks game,
Yeah.
can you just stay at the field? Just stay in your seats, keep your parking, just bring a blanket and just go, I've got the same seats tomorrow, or you have to shuffle them around.
Like you're
Just
posted
stay.
up at the airport.
The great corridors just got tents all around it.
Can you please leave that concession open? I'm going to need something to drink at like 2 a.m. Please.
This weekend had Dodgers, Mariners, Sounders, Ohio State in town to take on UW, and that will be trumped immediately by the weekend that is to come. So that will be fantastic. One of the disappointing things
The Buzz.
about my weekend was because we were kind of traveling, do a lot of things on foot, out at restaurants. We ended up out on a patio in Seattle watching the Ducks Penn State from my phone, which was fine.
Wow.
Which was fine. We had plenty of things to do. But guess what happened to my mobile device just as they went to overtime?
It died, didn't it?
It died. I've watched the highlights. I've went back and watched all of the press conferences. I imagine you, sir, did not miss a single snap of that game. So I will cede to you on this. I know that you can get a little bit emotional when it's your team. So if you can you have the dump button. I just want to remind you of that, just in case, for your own reference.
Thank you.
It looked to me like that game was everything that it was billed to be. It is two very good teams meeting up. It was the Ducks out in front early. You have the comeback by Penn State.
Yep.
The game is going back and forth. The environment is raucous, but listen, 105,000 or 107,000, 110,000, whatever it is not the sustained noise that you get at Autzen. It is not the frenzied fans it is. It's a lot of people that have been Penn State fans for a lot of years, and in moments they get these spikes. So it's a big environment, not taking anything away from that. In the final moments, you had the Ducks come through, and somehow, I know it's shocking, hold your breath, everybody. James Franklin did not finish the job. Is there anything that I missed there, Mr. Schultz?
I think this is one of the biggest games, frankly, in Oregon program history. When you really look at it with hindsight, if you go coming into this season and the unbelievable status that Penn State had coming to this point, regardless of James Franklin, now 4-21 record against top 10 teams.
Real quick, I know I know the big difference is home versus road.
Yeah, of course.
But beating Ohio State last year,
Yeah.
or even with Anthony Brown beating Ohio State in Ohio State,
Yeah.
would you put this game above either of those games? And I know that we know how those seasons finished out,
Of course.
but in the moment, to me, those felt bigger because I think there was always that Penn State can't win games like this. They're now 1-18, 1-19 with James Franklin in top 10 matchups.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Now, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not really going from my point of view with the hindsight of how those seasons finished.
Yeah, because you know where they were.
Exactly.
So-
What I'm saying is that the Ducks program, in those wins, they also were still losing to Washington. Dan Lanning still had that killer mentality, and they still couldn't quite get it done in all those moments. I was saying on the postgame show on Saturday here with Joe Fisher, I don't think this game against Penn State that Oregon ended up winning 30-24 in double overtime, that's not a game that would have went this way even last season. Now in year 4 with Dan Lanning, he's gotten, I think, the way that he wants the program's heartbeat to go, that's where it's at. They're vibing, and just the way that they were able to get that win dealing with a comeback from Penn State late, just able to grind it out. I've never personally, I'm 36. I've been a Duck fan for 25 years. I've watched some weird seasons. I've watched some mediocre to good seasons. I started my Duck fandom as Joey Harrington and AJ Feely were taking snaps under center, all right? I've seen a lot of Duck football. I don't remember having the satisfaction after a win like I have ever leading back to like 20 years. This game against Penn State was tops for me because of what it means for Oregon going forward, and what I think it tells the rest of the nation about this team is that they are ready to handle all punches.
Yeah, but they just did that, granted, at home against Ohio State last year.
But they didn't. They didn't.
They
it
did.
was
at
a
home.
shootout, and it was getting down to one play.
But so did this. It just happened to be the defense making the play in both games. So it to me, I realize that there are different shades of this, and that was a strategy that they had been employing, going, we're looking for this play. This was scheming that won them this game, and it was a coaching staff doing it, and all the freshmen that were there, and the expectation going into this season was a little bit murkier than it was getting Dylan Gabriel. Dante Moore had been a starter, but he hadn't been as successful as Bo Nix or as Gabriel, or pick your quarterback. So I realize that there's some question marks, but there's always question marks around Penn State. So here's my other question is, looking forward, before the playoffs or the Big Ten championship game, do you see any potential landmines on their schedule? It's still Indiana. I hesitate to even say USC. Wisconsin game last year was too close. Washington didn't look great this weekend. They look like an incomplete team. Do you see any other landmines that could trip up a perfect Big Ten record, not just this season, but of all time for the Ducks?
Going into this season, their schedule was already easier than last year, at least the regular season was. Yep. Penn State and Indiana were kind of the only highlighted games on their schedule, and at least to this point, that's what it seems to be. And Oregon has a bye going into that matchup against Indiana before, so it's 2 weeks from this last Saturday. And then the rest of the way, man, they only have to travel to Iowa and Rutgers. The other, I mean, okay, up to Washington, but that's a 3-hour drive to my... that's not really an away game. They've got a pretty decent schedule: Wisconsin, Minnesota, and USC coming in. I'm not concerned about them beating Rutgers or Iowa or Washington. I'll throw them in the USC category too. I think Oregon... I think they basically, outside of Indiana, have a pretty easy schedule. But, of course, you know what Dan Lanning says, they want to go 1-0 each week.
Yep. So we'll see. I think at this point, everybody is waiting for the playoff. The inevitable. Can they get to a national championship game, and can they win? And I think every year there will always be a reserved judgment on games like this. Yeah. Until you get to games like that.
And the hard thing that is fair. Okay. And to end it with this, Luke, the hard thing for a team like Oregon is they had a target on their back coming into the season. Now, every team that they're facing the rest of the year going to be giving them 120%. Let's
walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
Appreciate that, Luke. We're actually... looking at a busy day for both Ducks and Beavers news. Not only was Dante Moore named the co-Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week after his performance against the Penn State Nittany Lions, but on the other side of things, Ryan Harlan from On3 talked about Oregon State head coach Trent Bray in his press conference earlier today, saying that no coaching staff changes have been made at this time after their 30-27 loss, or 27-24 loss, to Houston over the weekend. A lot of Beavers fans are wondering why. Sounds like Scott Barnes is just, complacent, waiting until the buyout drops after December 1st for Trent Bray. It's weird, man. It ain't good in Corvallis.
Yeah, it's not good, but I don't think a mid-season firing does a whole lot to help, especially if, and I know it's silly, but if you can save money by waiting till December and then make the move. I realize that there's already been coaches fired this year, but I I never understood the let's see if we can fire somebody now to salvage the season.
Yeah.
You're drawing dead. Yes, you want to get somebody in there as quickly as you can so that you can hit all of the recruiting opportunities that are out there. But I don't think that hurrying on this decision and let's hurry up and get them fired to put more faith in the fans. Maybe what you want to do to put more faith in the fans is not blow a lead that, and I quote, I think they got this game in hand. I'm going to go to bed. That is a quote of me earlier in the evening on Friday, and then waking up and seeing the Beavs blueing. But yeah, it's ugly. But I don't think making a firing and coaching move right now saves anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Beavers are in the position, like you said, Luke, where they are the team that is counting the pennies and pinching the dollars. And yeah, they'd rather save that $2 or $3 million of a buyout. So probably waiting until December. Sorry, Beavers fans. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Curtain missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Ducks game day, before and after
games against the Cowboys and have been a perfect 5-0 at AT&T Stadium. Stadium. So I think the Packers get this done. The other thing that I heard was Matt LaFleur came out and said that apparently his team was talking 3-0 well before they bothered getting ready for the game against the Browns. So I think that was a big overlook. So I expect the Packers to be real ready for this game. I can't imagine what the conversations were in Green Bay, but I doubt they were without profanity.
Okay, Luke, that was you saying the Packers would be ready, would roll, and continue their dominance over the Cowboys. Instead, that was weird, man. Yes, it's 2025. We can still tie in the NFL. 40-40 tie. That would have been a bold call. Even though they didn't lose, the Packers did not look nearly as good as you predicted, Luke. Do the Cowboys deserve more credit than you're giving them, sir?
I don't know what to do with the Cowboys.
Okay.
I am kind of rooting for them to make the playoffs just to see if we can get extra insanity with them. If every Cowboys game is going to be like this, we already had the shootout with the Giants that was bananas, and now you have this one that ends in a 40-40 tie, the second time in NFL history there has been a tie with at least 40 points scored. The last one like 1969 or something like that, in a 43-43 tie, which I think that was before they had kickers or goalposts
Was
or
this
something.
a scoregami? 40-40?
40-40.
That's got to be a scoregami. Never happened before
I
in the
mean,
NFL, right?
You're probably right. Well, I mean, obviously, if it's a second 40-40 tie, yeah, or a second.
You said over 40 points.
Yeah, over 40. So yes, it is.
Wow.
So, and that's the second one this year. Wasn't the other Cowboys Giants game was one of those? So. I don't know what to do. I don't know where I had the Cowboys ranked. I don't know where I had them picked, but they are insane. We're watching scores and going, oh, they got a safety. No, they blocked a 2-point conversion and returned it. All of the things about the Cowboys baffle me. Their choice for head coach, their decision to get rid of Micah Parsons every time Jerry talks. All of the things about the Cowboys befuddle me, and now at least their on-field product matches the way I feel about this team. I don't know.
It's going to be hard not to catch Chargers fever at some point.
Right.
And it's I hope that it's not contagious. I hope that it's simple antibiotics that gets rid of it. But I'm starting to buy what the Chargers are selling. It's pretty exciting.
There you were, Luke, warning the listeners about the dangers of Chargers fever.
Whoops.
Still admitting you might be patient zero. Hey, it's okay. I got my Herbert jersey hanging in the closet, so I'm kind of with you on this one. Would you like to apologize, though, to all the Justin Herbert fans and the Chargers bandwagoners like me that you jinxed?
Sure, yeah, I guess I can apologize for that. These are one of those weird games where you really don't know what to expect when the rookie quarterback gets his first nod and he gets his opportunity to goes in there. But I don't think this had that much to do with Jackson Dart. Yes, he runs better than 65-year-old Russell Wilson and had a nice little dash for a touchdown. But this was the first game that the Chargers looked like the Chargers. Couldn't score any points in the first quarter. Turnovers, penalties, just looked kind of clumsy. And this was what Jim Harbaugh was hired to kind of stop. And it didn't feel that way. It's one loss, and NFL season is long. But yeah, I think the Chargers bandwagon got just a skosh lighter, especially considering what the Chiefs were able to do to the Ravens within the division. So you have a team that you're still seeing if you measure up to in Kansas City, and you lay an egg against a bad Giants team. Not a great look for Los Angeles.
From one bandwagon to another.
I need to give you this stat because this is absolutely insane. The Colts have scored on 77% of their offensive drives so far this season, by far leading the NFL. Shane Steichen is supposed to be this football genius. He's just been looking for a quarterback, and I think that might be the answer. I'm gonna take the Colts.
My Rams, baby, getting it done 27-20 behind the 3-touchdown effort, 375 yards through the air from Matt Stafford. I'm still kind of in on the Colts, frankly, but you threw your hat in. You threw your hat and whip into the ring, man, with Shane Steichen and Daniel Indiana Jones. How about you return your new Danny Dimes fan club T-shirt? Are you going to maybe put that membership card back into your wallet and run with it another week?
Remind me real quick what division they're in.
The AFC something?
AFC South. You got Jacksonville, who just got to win over the 49ers, or the practice squad for the 49ers. You've got the Texans and Titans played head-to-head, which you get no value out of. I think what I did here was I underestimated the Rams again. It's something I do fairly often. I mean, they're coming off a loss to the Eagles. You can't really feel too bad about that. I mean, the Eagles just keep winning and keep figuring out a way to do it. The one thing about the Rams that I always forget until I'm watching them play football or watching highlights, they have the best names, and I don't know how they keep doing this. You got Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell, and now they got Cam Curl out there making picks. The whole thing about the Rams that troubles me is I always want to hate them. And I never liked the St. Louis Rams with their gold and navy. And I don't love the granulated numbers or the gradient numbers where the white turns to yellow.
The ombre or whatever.
But the blue and yellow helmets, it all looks pretty good. I know there's the weird phallic symbol hidden in front of the new Rams, but just watching them play football, they've been there often enough. If Matthew Stafford stays healthy, it's a very dangerous team. So, yeah, I cannot fault the Colts for falling to the Rams. I think we need to watch out for the Rams as well.
I think the blueprint is there. You've got a young quarterback, and they have said that they're going to ride with Penix. They've got Kirk Cousins making $100 million on the bench. But I think this is a year where I think they're willing to kind of go with the ups and downs of a young quarterback. Michael Penix is the future in Atlanta, so hopefully he figures some things out, because it did not look good against a division opponent. But I think the Commanders, whoever plays quarterback, in a defensive game will have the leg up. And if they can get an early lead and force them into throwing situations, it's going to be even better for the Commanders, even worse for Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, the Falcons did not have to relieve Michael Penix Jr. with Kirk Cousins this week like they did previously. But, Lukester, not entirely wrong, but you were certainly more wrong than right in that statement.
That.
Accurately saying the Falcons are in for an up-and-down year, but also said that a defensive battle coming into this game was going to be expected, and the Commanders would be the victor regardless of the quarterback. I mean, was this injuries catching up to the Commanders, or do you see some other issues in the nation's capital, my friend?
I do see other issues. Injuries play a big part when you lose half of your receiving core. You've already lost your starting running back. It sounds like Jaden Daniels was close, but not quite ready to come back this week. So
you don't fight that early in the season.
Yeah, I think that repairs some of their woes, but their defense was terrible. And the recipe for beating the Falcons is try to limit Bijan Robinson from making big plays, and they couldn't do that. So then it makes everything much easier for Michael Penix, and then you get the result that you do. So, yeah, I think there's still some things to be concerned about with Washington, even when their guys get back. But when you start stacking up injuries like they have, it makes it really difficult if you're not going to play consistent.
Let's go. We got Browns and Lions, 1-2 Browns and 2-1 Lions. This was the most insightful thing, that the fact that even 11-year-olds know what's going on in the NFL.
Between the Browns and Lions, I'll take the Lions because they won last time.
Browns won last time, too.
Yeah, but the Browns suck.
Accurate take from the 11-year-old there. Uncle Luke, your nephew won the Take Your Pick contest last week, and that was you trying to talk him out of picking the Lions in favor of the Browns. Luckily, he is smarter than you, knows enough about the NFL to know that no matter how good the Browns look one week, they'll always be the Browns. Would you like to apologize to your nephew, sir?
Yeah, I owe 2 apologies here.
Okay.
So I try to take my bites of humble pie when I need to. My nephew was very quick on his feet, and that was hilarious. Did you hear the laughter at the end of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys were dying.
That may have been what killed Jeff Rust. So if he doesn't make it back for tomorrow and you're back here, Schultz, I told you that I might have a hypothesis on what happened to Mr. Rust.
This was it.
He took a full 3 minutes to recover from that jab of the Browns, and it sounds like it followed him into the weekend. So Jeff Rust, get well soon. I apologize to you for not playing that full clip of my nephew before we went on air. And Brandon, yes, I apologize for trying to trick. Not a single person in the entire pick'em selected the Browns to win that game.
Yeesh.
And nobody got that game wrong.
Hey, we saw Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, well,
some throw a pass.
I don't know if you know this, Shedeur Sanders is better than several starting quarterbacks in the NFL, according to Shedeur Sanders.
I used to play basketball with a kid that said he played better in the games than in practice. That's Shedeur Sanders.
Sure, yeah, just got to get him out there
God.
and watch out. Let's do one more for the road. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan and The Fan.
Ducks Game Day hits the road. We're about to wrap things up.
Maybe you guys like what I have so far?
Wicked woman, cool grams and misters. You got a cool spell on me.
Let's grab one more for the road.
Come on, everybody. Everything's smooth.
Here's Luke Anderson.
All right, we got to go quick here. Mr. Schultz, anything from the text toy or the YouTube chats that we need to know about?
One comment, pretty funny from Rufio. The NFL games the past 2 weeks have been drunk, like Everclear drunk. I kind of agree with him, actually, especially a lot of high-scoring contests this weekend.
I think we forget every year early in the season we are wrong all the time about the NFL, and we like to think that we know what we're talking about, but then you just figure out who's got a complete team, who has a couple superstars, early injuries. I mean, the Ravens have six defensive starters out, and then you lose your quarterback. So who knows what happens with it, but early and often injuries can really throw things off. Speaking of the NFL, let's get one for the road. Actually, two for the road today. Two Monday night contests happening in the NFL. You've got the epic matchup between the winless Jets and the winless Dolphins. Whew, I don't think this matters for the division when you've got the Buffalo Bills in there. Schultz, do you have any confidence on these since you didn't make any picks last week? I think we may have lost Schultz for the moment. Schultz, do we have you, bud?
Sorry, what are we doing? Talking to Buck's making sure that I'm distracted.
Oh, unbelievable. I was going to give you an opportunity to make your picks since you didn't do your picks. We got two Monday night games, you big dork.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. These are actually some trap ones tonight. Because the Miami 2.5 line, like, are you kidding me? Favored only by 2.5 at home. You want to bet the Jets since Justin Fields going to be back because it's a dumpster fire with the Dolphins at McDaniel.
We got 20 seconds. Would you make your picks?
All right, we're going to go under 43.5 for the Giants to Jets Dolphins. I'm not going to bet the line itself for either team, and I think the Bengals are going to cover the 7.5 tonight. That's where I'm going.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the Monday Night Football. Whatever happens, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Schultz, for jumping in at the last minute.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening, and as always, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We are done for now. Bye-bye.
If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you forgot.